if the BJP does something which I believe to be good, I'm going to support it. That does not make me a BJP man. I'm totally secular. These Waqf boards had become centers of corruption. They had amassed huge amount of lands by just declaring somebody, particularly some poor person's land as Waqf property and seizing it. So this is a good thing which has been done. I think if people think coolly about it. But when this judgment came, Shabano judgment, these Muslim reactionaries, Maulanas and others, raised a big hue and cry that Sharia is being abolished, Sharia is being damaged and all. And Rajiv Gandhi, the Prime Minister, got scared that I may lose my Muslim vote bank, and he got the judgment annulled by legislation.
Mrs. Katju,
was this not appeasement? No, tell me, is this not appeasement? Suppose it take, for example, the Uniform Civil Code. No, I fully support it. But if the BJP brings it in Parliament, the hue and cry will be raised. Oh, Islam is being attacked and all that nonsense will be said. Waqf Amendment Bill is a step in the right direction, because there's massive corruption in these Waqf boards. They have amassed huge amount of properties. By Waqf Amendment Bill will neither increase the improve the lives of people, nor decrease it. It will have no effect. So it is really irrelevant to the common man, common Muslim. It is wholly irrelevant whether you make this law or don't make this law. That has required, this appeasement of Muslims has required on the Congress. They were doing it to get Muslim votes. Now BJP is doing it to get Hindu votes. So in politics, as I said, all is fair in love and war. Politics is a form of war. They were Congress was doing it. Now BJP is doing it. So I don't blame BJP alone. But this Waqf Amendment Bill does not prohibit Muslims from saying namaz or observing Roza or going on Hajj. It does not do anything. It doesn't affect your religious rights. It just said that this corruption which was going on by the Waqf boards, it has been brought to check that. It should be welcomed. I don't know why people are raising a hue and cry against it, except that these people want to attack BJP on every issue.
What do you fear after this bill is passed, after this bill is ratified, it becomes an act? What is your fear? Do you have any fear in your mind after this bill is passed by both houses?
No fear. Nothing. It is irrelevant. Amendment Bill will not affect the lives of anybody, neither Muslim nor Hindu. They will continue living in the same horrible conditions in which they are living already, in great poverty and massive unemployment and child malnutrition. And
all right.
I'm not in politics. I don't want the votes of Muslims or nor of Hindus. Whereas these opposition parties, they want votes of Muslims. This is the difference between opposition parties and me.
Hello and a warm welcome to HW News Network, your one-stop show, truth be told, for some engaging and thought-provoking conversations. Waqf Amendment Bill 2024 has been passed by Lok Sabha. And the kind of arguments which came yesterday were that the bill is trying to divide the country. They are trying to disenfranchise the minorities. They will divide the nation. And today, the bill is being discussed in Rajya Sabha and on a similar line. Now, say, for example, the arguments which have come up by Congress MP Syed Nasir Hussain in Rajya Sabha, and he has said that how will one demand for and how will you show the proof of age-old places? And basically, he was referring to the Waqf by user clause. He says that there is a temple by user, a Gurudwara by user, and how will you ask for proof for all? How will you ask for proof of the age-old places? And then he goes on to say that they are trying to incite riots and make their vote bank. This is what Congress MP Syed Nasir Hussain said. But the big question is that is this bill, the Waqf Amendment Bill, is it targeted towards the betterment of Muslims? Joining me now this evening is former Supreme Court Judge, Justice Markandey Katju. So thank you so much for joining on HW. It's a pleasure to have you on the program. And my first question to you is that from the lens of a judge's eye, do you think that this bill really is for the betterment of the Muslims?
See, first of all, you must be knowing that I'm not a supporter of BJP. I've often been criticizing the BJP, but at the same time, I'm not a blind critic, just as I'm not a blind supporter of the BJP. If the BJP does something which I believe to be good, I'm going to support it. That does not make me a BJP man. I'm totally secular. Now, as regards this Waqf Amendment Bill, the most important provision there is Section 40, the amendment to Section 40 of the Waqf Act 1995. See, the Section 45 said that the Waqf board has the power to declare any property as Waqf property. Now, these were very, very broad powers and they were being grossly misused. In fact, the assets of the Waqf boards, they almost doubled in the last 10 years or so. They have amassed huge property. They declare somebody's property as Waqf property, particularly some poor person's property. They declare Waqf property and take it over. They have amassed a huge amount of property. There's a lot of corruption in this Waqf boards. So now this power in the Waqf board to declare a property as Waqf property has been taken away from the Waqf board and it has been given to the collector of the district. And mind you, collector's decision is not final. It is subject to an appeal to the Waqf tribunal and further appeal to the High Court. So it is not that the collector has the last say. This was, in my opinion, a salutary step because these Waqf boards had become centers of corruption. They had amassed huge amount of lands by just declaring somebody, particularly some poor person's land as Waqf property and seizing it. So this is a good thing which has been done. I think if people think coolly about it, they should support it. But what is actually happening? You see, the whole thing has turned political, both from the side of BJP and also from the side of opposition. Opposition people, they just want an issue to get Muslim votes. 1 point program of the opposition. They have no other.
But the allegation goes for BJP as well, Justice Katju, that BJP in their minority affairs ministry meetings, there was no plan to bring in a Waqf Amendment Bill. And this has been pointed out through the minutes of the meetings which have happened in the ministries. And it's very clear that there was no plan to bring in a Waqf Amendment Bill. But all of a sudden, the government thought of bringing in a bill. What do you think is the intention behind bringing in a bill like this?
See, first of all, you must understand that BJP is not a group of saints. They are politicians. So they will act as politicians just as the opposition people will act as politicians. In other words, they will. This has been brought for political motives. The intention was to, because they knew that once they bring this bill, a lot of these Muslim organizations and people like OSC and others, All India Muslim Personal Law Board, they will raise a hue and cry that, oh, Muslims are being degraded and crushed and this and that. And the result will be, as a reaction, that Hindus, who are 80% of the population of this country, they will feel that every time you want to appease the Muslims. And therefore, the Hindu votes will be consolidated in favor of the BJP. And as you know, elections are coming in Bihar and other places.
No, but what I want to understand from you, that if you look at it from your perspective, who do you think is appeasing whom? Who is appeasing whom, I'm asking?
These Congress and opposition people were always appeasing. For example, there was a judgment, as you remember, I think in 1985, Shehbano judgment, which said that when a Muslim husband divorces his wife, he has to give maintenance to her. Now, this is the law all over the world. Many wives are there, they don't have independent source of earnings, they have children, small children. Where will they go if you just say talak, talak, talak and throw them out of the house? Should they not survive? Should they not get something to eat? But when this judgment came, Shehbano judgment, these Muslim reactionaries, Maulanas and others, raised a big hue and cry that Sharia is being abolished, Sharia is being damaged and all. And Rajiv Gandhi, The Prime Minister got scared that I may lose my Muslim vote bank, and he got that judgment annulled by the legislation.
Mrs. Katju,
Was this
don't
not appeasement? No, tell me, is this not appeasement? It was a good judgment. That was
of course
1 minute, let me complete. It was a humanitarian judgment, it was a progressive judgment. All sensible people should have supported that Shehbanu's judgment. Why was it annulled? By the Congress who claimed to be great secular people? Why did they annul this progressive and humanitarian judgment? It was just to appease to get the Muslim votes. Congress and other these so-called secular parties had no genuine love for the Muslims. They just want the Muslim vote bank. That's all. To hell with the Muslims. They
no,
don't care to who to the Muslims. They want Muslim votes.
No, but if Congress made that mistake, the similar mistake is being made by BJP. BJP is trying to appease the Hindus. Isn't BJP trying to appease the Hindus?
That's right. Listen, this is politics. You must have heard that all is fair in love and war. Politics is war, peaceful war. And Sam Dam Dand, where every method will be used. The Congress was doing it, and Congress was in power for 50 years after independence. वो भी यही सब हरकतें कर रही थी. They were doing the same misdeeds. Now BJP is doing. So, see, you should not make, I would request you, two separate things altogether. One is, this legal step, this Waqf Amendment Bill, is it a step in the right direction or not? Number one. The other is, with what intent is it being done? Now, if it is a step in the right direction, as I think it is, then with what intent they may be doing it? They may be doing it for political benefit. Should you not support it? Suppose they take, for example, the Uniform Civil Code. Now, I fully support it. But if the BJP brings it in Parliament, hue and cry will be raised. Oh, Islam is being attacked and all that nonsense will be said. But that would be a step in the correct direction. All over the world, there's a common uniform.
Why, Justice Katju, why is it being said that Waqf Amendment Bill is a bundle of lies? It is anti-constitutional. It is an attack on the federal structure. Why are things like these being said? And if at all, if they are wrong in your view, then what are the contentions, in this? I mean, the points which are controversial in this bill. What, according to you, are the controversial points in this bill?
Listen, all this opposition people and these Muslim organizations are raising this hue and cry because they want the Muslim political organization want the Muslim vote bank. Obviously, it is for that purpose. They are not genuinely interested in Muslims. They want the Muslim vote bank. So even if the BJP takes a correct step, yet these people have to oppose because they have to show that they are secular and our Muslim vote bank should not be affected and all that. So, as I said, you must separate these two things. The intent, I agree, was political. Just as what Congress used to do, that was also political. After all, they are in politics, they are not sadhu mahatmas living in an ashram doing religious sermons. They are in politics, which is a struggle for power. So what Congress used to do, BJP is doing, I agree. The intention was to get more votes, consolidated the Hindu vote so that Bihar elections are coming and other elections are coming. Agreed. But the point is it a step in the right direction? For example, if Uniform Civil Code is brought by BJP, I will support it. They will, of course, bring it with the intention of again consolidating Hindu because there will be reaction by Muslims. But it will be a step in the right direction because there should be a common law for everybody. All these personal laws are outdated feudal laws. So similarly, this Waqf Amendment Bill is a step in the right direction because there's massive corruption in these Waqf boards. They have amassed huge amount of properties by this Waqf board declaring.
But do you think that the corruption will become lesser now with this Waqf Amendment Bill 2024? The corruption will come down? Is that what you're saying?
There will be some check, yes. There will be some check. Because what was happening was, it was all one-sided. Someday Neelu Vyas's house may be declared by the Waqf board as Waqf property. Would you like that? Just consider Or would you prefer that this power should be with the collector? At least theoretically, he is a neutral body. In practice, he may be under influence of government, but in at least some extent of neutrality he has.
Don't you
And
already
Waqf board is
consider
no.
Justice Kaju, now with the Waqf board not managing all this, you'll have a collector who's going to supervise all this. Aren't you giving too many powers to the collector who's already a central government's man? And the fear is that that collector will harass the people for no reason. That's the biggest fear.
No, but his decision is subject to an appeal to the Waqf tribunal, in which is whose chairman is the district judge, and there's a member of PCS also, and further appeal to the High Court. So the decision of the collector is not final. You understand? Earlier in the earlier act, it was final. The Waqf board decision was final. Now it is not final. Subject to appeal to the Waqf tribunal, whose chairman is the district judge, and further appeal to the High Court. So there's some check there. I agree with you that collector is a man of the government. But the point is, at least
What is the risk? With the current bill, what is the risk? Is there no risk in the society now? No
what
risk
is
for riots, no risk for provocation.
listen to me. See, the test of every political activity and every political system is one and only one, and that is, does it raise the standard of living of the people? Does it give people better lives? That's all. So this Waqf Amendment Bill will neither increase improve the lives of people, nor decrease it. It will have no effect. So it is really irrelevant to the common man, common Muslim. It is wholly irrelevant whether you make this law or don't make this law. It is just these people in the Waqf board who have amassed huge fortunes in the form of land. They will be affected. No ordinary Muslim will not be affected.
You made an important point that this bill is completely irrelevant as far as the common man is concerned. Why do you
Yes.
think that the government thought of bringing this bill? What is the kind of brownie point it wants to earn at this point of time? Just by proving that, oh, we are very serious on fighting out corruption. Though themselves are neck deep into corruption, look at electoral bonds, look at the way there are so many examples of corruption.
I answered you. I did answer you. Now I'm going to repeat my answer. Yes, of course, the bill has been brought by the government for political purposes, knowing that once the bill is brought in parliament, there'll be a huge reaction by these Muslim organizations and these overseas and this and that. And that will further consolidate the Hindu votes in favor of the BJP. Because Hindus are 80% of the population. Ordinarily, they are divided on caste lines. But when communal passions are aroused, they tend to, integrate, consolidate in favor of BJP. Like in the Ram Janmabhoomi agitation, all Hindus, they got together against the Muslims. So when communal passions are aroused, that benefits Muslims because Hindus tend to come together. So you are right. BJP has done it for political purposes, knowing that there will be a reaction from Muslims, which means it will be a benefit for the BJP. Hindus will get more consolidated, thinking that these Muslims are fanatics and this and that. So you are right. It was done with a political intention. Bihar elections are coming and whatever. But the point is it a correct, good thing or not? This is I'm saying, please separate these two things.
No, I
Motive,
agree with that these are two different things, what you're saying. I completely agree with that you are saying that this is a step in the right direction and it has been brought for political purposes. These are two things which you have said. But the point is that as a journalist, we will have to discuss what are the risks. And since you talked about the communal passions, what I'm wanting to ask you is that BJP is becoming more and more brazen with its communal agenda. And you look at the recent examples, the way things have happened post-Holi, and what Yogi Adityanath is up to post Kumbh. Do you think that to raise the communal passions, now the parliament is also being used? There are legislations being brought in to stoke passions, to heighten the communal agenda of the BJP? These kind of bills which are being brought about?
of course, as I said, politics is for power, and all means are used. What they say in Sanskrit, Sam, Dam, Dand, Bhed. Every method is used to come to power. So the same thing Congress was doing for 50 years. Congress had ruled, and what were they doing? They were. Is this not appeasement? This annulment of Shehbanu's judgment, which was a progressive judgment, humanitarian judgment for the benefit of Muslim women who had been divorced. But hue and cry was raised. It is against Sharia, Sharia. So Congress abolished it, thinking that they will lose the Muslim vote bank. So what I'm trying to say is, that has required, this appeasement of Muslims has required on the Congress. They were doing it to get Muslim votes. Now BJP is doing it to get Hindu votes. So in politics, as I said, all is fair in love and war. Politics is a form of war. They were Congress was doing it. Now BJP is doing it. So I don't blame BJP alone. Everybody is doing it.
Speaking, Justice Katju, do you think, I'm talking from the legal lens, that do you think that this particular bill is an attack on the basic structure of the constitution? Because this also was a point which came up during the Lok Sabha discussion. Do you think in any way this is an attack on the basic structure of the constitution? Is it an attack on the federal structure?
It is not an attack on basic structure or on federal structure. It has brought about improvements which should be welcomed, like depriving the Waqf board the power to declare any attack the basic. See, the basic structure would include right to religion. That is part of the basic structure too. So if a law is made prohibiting Muslims from saying namaz or observing roza or going on Hajj, that would be unconstitutional, against a basic feature of the constitution, that is freedom of religion. But this Waqf Amendment Bill does not prohibit Muslims from saying namaz or observing roza or going on Hajj. It does not do anything. It doesn't affect your religious rights. It just said that this corruption which was going on by the Waqf boards, it has been brought to check that. It should be welcomed. I don't know why people are raising a hue and cry against it, except that these people want to attack BJP on every issue.
No,
I also
but the point
BJP
is,
on many issues.
BJP
But
is
not-
BJP. No, Justice Katju, through this bill, is the BJP trying to prove that they are very holy and the real villains are the opposition?
Of course they will. This is politics. Please understand, this is politics. The same thing Congress was doing when Congress was in power. They were trying to prove everybody in opposition at that time are devils. So similarly, the same thing BJP. This is politics. This is not a banquet or a dinner party. It is politics. All means are used. Same thing Congress was doing when it was in power. Same thing BJP is doing. I tell you, my opinion is very clear. Problems of this country are basically poverty, unemployment, hunger, price rise, malnutrition, lack of health care, lack of good education. All these can only be solved by a historical people's struggle and people's revolution. They cannot be solved within this system. It has to be solved by some kind of revolution, but that may take 15, 20 years. It's going to be a long struggle in which great sacrifices have to be made. All these Waqf Amendment Bill and all these are irrelevant. Totally irrelevant. You see, I don't pay any attention to all this. All irrelevant, because
No,
how
so
does it affect the lives of the people? Tell me,
So
how
what
does the Waqf Amendment Bill affect the lives of the people?
No, but what you're
Except
saying, that according to the priorities of the nation, Waqf Amendment Bill is not something which was the need of the hour. That was something which was not needed.
it was not needed, but BJP needed it for winning the Bihar elections. See, this is politics in India. All parties do it. They will use some handle for consolidating their vote banks, and BJP has a large Hindu vote bank, so they feel that this will benefit them. But what I'm saying, the same thing Congress was also doing. What was Congress doing all these 50 years when they were in power? They were also doing the same thing. So I don't blame the BJP alone.
Okay, so whom do you blame for this bill? You're saying you don't want to blame BJP. So whom will you blame? And you don't fear anything. What do you fear after this bill is passed, after this bill is ratified? it becomes an act. What is your fear? Do you have any fear in your mind after this bill is passed by both houses?
No, no fear. Nothing. It is irrelevant. As I told you, people raised a hue and cry about abrogation of Article 370, which gave a special status to Kashmir. I said, I give many interviews. I said, this is irrelevant. Whether you again Article 370 or abrogate Article 370, how does it affect the lives of the common Kashmiri? Tell me. It does not affect. It has no. So it is irrelevant about whether you maintain Article 370 or abolish Article. Only politician will raise a hue and cry about it. But how does it has it had any effect on the lives of people? Nothing. So similarly, this Waqf Amendment Bill will not affect the lives of anybody, neither Muslim nor Hindu. They will continue living in the same horrible conditions in which they are living already, in great poverty and massive unemployment and child malnutrition and lack of health care. How does it affect their lives? It does not affect, so it is irrelevant.
But my last question to you is that do you find any point in this bill which is contentious? Any provision which, according to you, is contentious? Or everything is very hunky-dory about this bill?
No, I don't. See, I'm not. I've gone through it to some extent, but I have not found anything wrong. See, the thrust of the bill is that they have deprived the Waqf board from the power to declare any property as Waqf property. And that is to be welcomed. That is a good thing. These Waqf boards are full of these reactionary Maulanas and all and whatnot. There were crooked, corrupt people who wanted to grab property. So it's a very good thing which has been done. I'm very happy about it. See, one thing I must tell you, I'm not a blind supporter of BJP, nor am I a blind opponent of BJP. If the BJP does something which I think is good, I will support them. And here I think they have done something good. If they bring in the Uniform Civil Code, again I will support them. Already I have written articles in favor of Uniform Civil Code. It should be done.
All right.
I'm not in politics. I don't want the votes of Muslims or nor of Hindus. Whereas these opposition parties, they want votes of Muslims. This is the difference between opposition parties and me. I don't want Muslim votes. I tell Muslims, look, I don't care whether I'm not in politics. So I'm not trying to appease you. I will not try to please you. I will say 2 + 2 is equal to 4, whether that pleases you or whether it hurts you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Justice Katju, for joining on HW. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.